Hey guys, today I'm going to share with you something on the rings. Very basic push-up. Now, I love doing push-ups on the rings for a number of reasons. Number one, we can regress to progress. So let's say on the ground, it's fairly horizontal, whether you're on your knees or your toes, the load is the same. Whereas, let's say on the rings, the more vertical we are, the less load there is. Now, what that also means is, let me just show that first. So the more horizontal to the ground I am, right, more on top of the rings or more under the anchor point that I am, the harder the push-up, right? Because there's more load. The more upright I am, the more vertical I get, the easier it becomes, right? Because of the vectors I'm going into. Now, the second great thing about the rings is that it allows to mold around my structures. What I mean by that is, on the ground, if I was to do a push-up, I'm not going to slide my hands around because my hands are pretty grounded, right? Whereas in the rings, I have the ability to go wide, turn in a little bit, and whatnot, right? So basically, we can mold this around what we needed to, like how we need to use it, basically. So with the push-up, very, very straightforward. Think about your hand plank. The key thing is posterior tilt a little bit, okay? From here, push the rings away from you, so you protract it with the shoulders. Now, we often say with the straps, you want it ever so slightly up off the shoulders, so it's not kind of pushing back onto you, okay? You don't want any strap burns. Now from there are different styles of push-ups, right? People kind of go wide, people hide the elbows. Generally, we want to use the full shoulder complex. Now for that to happen, you want to make sure you are stable at the shoulders first, okay? Midline is zipped in, and then you're going to slowly start to get that heart through the rings. Now my elbows are at 45 degrees roughly. They're not too close, they're not too wide, okay? Again, slow, controlled, and I drive through, and I want to finish with this big protraction, locking the elbows out. Now, what the ring also allows us to do is start to add a little bit more range of motion work. What I mean by that is, we can lower ourselves down. Now, if this is where my strength is, I can look to go a little bit deeper, okay? So again, what I'm doing there by increasing range of motion is I'm getting more stretch on these pecs, right? So basically, I'm trying to work more strength through length. Now, obviously, that's only appropriate if we have a solid push-up to start off with. The cool thing here, though, is we can regress. So the more upright I am, I can do the push, and look, I can still work that range and drive up. Now, the only thing that we've found when we do this type of work is that when we often look to get that range of motion from the shoulders, often we let go of the back. So you want to make sure you don't lose the integrity through the midline. That's the most important thing. Now the other detail is, if you look at my hands, okay, as I lower myself down, you can see I'm start to turn more about 45 degrees, right? So again, that allows me to use my full shoulder complex. Now as I get deeper, I may want to turn my hands a little bit closer, boom, and drive through. Right? So basically what I'm doing there is, as I start to come down, okay, I'm turning hands a little bit so I have access to this new range of motion, because if I was to say, let's say, palms face back, okay, if I was to do the normal push-ups, imagine the ground is here, you can see what's going to happen. I'm going to have to shrug my shoulders up. So this is why the rings is a great tool. It allows us to mold the movement to our structures. We can work a bigger range of motion, and the great thing is, the load may be a little bit less than the ground, however the complexity is a little bit through the roof because I can move my shoulders how I want to. I can go to places that I couldn't normally go to on the ground. That's why I love it. If you have any questions, please reach out. Otherwise, we'd love to see you give it a crack.